What's up, family? This is your local OG Juggalo here. I like to go over ideal, possibly a theory. I don't know, but I don't know what you'd call it. But part of this just spawns from of what's been said. Like, let's say Dark Lotus, right? For example. Okay, now Dark Lotus. When Dark Lotus first started, Tales of the Lotus Pod, and it came out, they had a seminar or whatever, and Violent J was talking about. No, I think it was all Fago lovers that I read this off of, but it was talking about how Violent J was talking about how they would do rituals or whatever when they would do the songs. They would like actually set up the room with candles, incense or whatever, just black magic type shit. And then within one of their songs, they actually put like a enchant or whatever you want to call it, black magic, Wicca, Sumerian, ancient. I don't know exactly what it was, but they put a spell within one of their songs. I think it was in one of the choruses, but but I guess it like had something attached to it and da da da, and it fucked with a lot of people. It had a lot to deal with it. ICP people that listen to the CD, etc., etc. Now, granted, this could have been like just to sell the album, whatever, make it seem edgy, because marketing, whatever. But so they switched it up, I guess, the lyrics of it, and this and that, and the chorus. But it makes you wonder. Well, it makes me wonder actually, what did they switch up? Because knowing ICP and just twist it or whatever, they when they do something, they like to tend to like do it more than once. They kind of repeat it within the album. You'll recognize this more and more when you listen to it. And it ain't nothing like major, but just like certain ideals and certain thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Rather, they just going with the story or whatever it is. They just bring, certain ideals and certain, lingo back up. So they probably did more than one spell in it. And it would actually make sense because you got so many people addicted to Dark Lotus. Like, out of all this split shit, the most thing I ever see anybody really wonder about and are concerned about is, oh my god, is Dark Lotus going to come back? Oh my god, what about Dark Lotus? Has anybody heard anything about Dark Lotus? You know what I'm saying? So it seems like almost on the lines of obsession and addiction type deal. They can't let go. But moving on. So it seems like they dabble in black magic. Well, how many times have they done this? I'm speaking of like ICP mainly, because they just seem more of the type to fuck around with that, because they believe more spiritual, which Twisted does too. Twisted could talk all spiritual and shit, and none of y'all say nothing about it. Because they sneak it in, kind of like Tech Nine sneaks in the whole Juggalo shit. He don't really come out and say it, but he sneaks it in. Twisted does the same shit. And they don't ever get no guff from it. But either way, moving on, through these whole years, they've been tricking y'all. Tricking everybody. Pretty much, for the most part. Into singing Bible hymns and shit. And whatever. And Lord knows what else, like I said. I ain't no fucking scholar of black magic, so I couldn't tell you. Personally. I've read a few things, like, I like the Book of the Dead and this and that. But, I ain't going to say I'm a scholar. And either way, like, I always get like a collage of, ideals in my head, kind of like with the pedophile thing, like Elton John brought up this ideal, then they brought up that ideal, and they brought up that ideal. My brain, that's how my head works sometimes. So, as I'm building this collage, I got, the Dark Lotus shit, and then you got all the years of the hidden, Bible messages, and then something off the beaten path. You don't have to go down the rabbit hole with me here. But just Hollywood and the music industry. Period. Like, look at it. It's it's satanic in nature, which like I've said before, I'm not really a Christian or anything, but it's just what I see. It's kind of hard to miss. You know, you got mainstream artists nowadays, rap artists, African American artists that act like demons and shit. And like, if you grew up in the '90s and '80s, that was taboo. That wasn't something you really saw. Like you had like it was a shocker. Like that's why he got Big Brother Lynch hung. Back when I was in middle school, everybody was talking about Brother Lynch hung, Brother Lynch hung, and the reason why they was so fucking like enthralled with them is because it was like, dude was like satanic almost in nature, and talking about cannibalism and da 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 da, and they wasn't used to that because before that, and just everybody in general, the rap scene, but before that, it was just all like gangster rap or positive type rap. It was never nothing like wicked, so it was unique, and 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 uh, and odd to everybody, to be honest. So, I understand, you have trends and shit, like, the 90s or whatever had the gangster trend and this and that, but it's weird that not only just like rap, but a lot of other music is like that, which heavy metal has always had like a satanic vibe to it. They just do it as shock value, majority of the bands. They don't really believe in half the shit besides Manson. That's a different subject for a different time. But, it's just odd, like how all the industry's doing this, and I feel just a theory. There's two reasons. My theory. Two reasons why juggalos are on the gang list. Excuse me. And it has nothing to do with preference of who they like or whatever. It has to do with, excuse me again. It has to do with the unity that we have. Like, think about it for a minute. I've been to many concerts, and I've been to a few concerts where they had troubles, like the rails or whatever collapse, and they try to get people to back up. People don't fucking listen. But at ICP concerts, they're like, hey, y'all need to back up and this and that. And 9 out of 10 people start backing up to give the crew or whatever room to breathe so they can fucking fix the fucking rails. That's unity type shit. Like, we move as one wave when we all come together, and this and that. They don't like that. Government don't like people being unified. So that's number one. Number two is the underlying message that ICP's always had. It's opposite of the mainstream. That's why they never could fully go mainstream. Yeah, they might have popped up in a TV show here, and Island might have picked them up for a while, but they quickly dropped them because they knew what ICP was doing. Granted, they wouldn't have kept them for long. well, you never know, because ICP makes a lot of money. But if they would have went about it different, like if somebody at Island, let's say, wouldn't have put that video straight on TV, then they might have kept them. But at the same time, I don't think they would have, because they understand what ICP's doing. Like, a lot of the reverse messages, sometimes there's just stupid shit like saying Carnival of Carnage, and they just reverse it. But every once in a while, you got shit where it's talking about praising God and this and that, and like, fuck Satan. And like I said, it's the opposite with the music industry. Like, Stairway to Heaven, you can play that shit backwards, and it's talking about, like, one way it says a story, and if you play it backwards, it goes with the same story talking about Satan, though, It's like really freaky type shit. But I think they, put us on the FBI list because they fear that, they want culture, the mindset of the culture to go a different way. If you ever recognize, like, look how the culture is nowadays. Mostly all atheists, and then you got your Satanists, and then like Muslims and Christians, and yada yada, the rest of the way up. But it's slowly, especially in America, it's turning around and becoming like an atheist type nation. Which, whatever. but they're doing it for a reason, you know, and these people's reason ain't always good. But yeah, I don't want to ramble on. Just an interesting thought, like the magic that they said they used. Did they use it, or was it just a bullshit, like, you know, just to try to sell more? And if they did, could it possibly explain the addiction that everybody has to Dark Lotus? And also, is the music industry holding them down because they're not pushing the satanic agenda, but yet trying to push God, you know? And it seems a lot of people shy away from that. You know, they fucking whenever ICP talks about God, it's like you know, like the Exorcist movies when they put a cross on it. But either way, you know, I'm out. You know, much clown love. Whoop whoop.